This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, everyone. So, I good morning. So, we'll be discussing one of few topics of the commands we already discussed, and like this one, a grep command. We have discussed grep command is one of the most important command being asked in your Linux. That is, I will discuss the grep command also. That is also grep command is nothing but searching for a file. To search any particular pattern from the file, we have to use the grep command. So grep command searches a file for a particular pattern of characters and display all the lines that contains the pattern. The pattern can be searched in a file is referred to as a regular expression, and the full form of the grep is nothing but the globally search for a regular expression. This RE stands for regular expression, G stands for globally, and P stands for printing. So it will print all the patterns search in the file, right? So grep command is nothing but a text manipulation program. It is used to find patterns in a file or a text. It is also called as global regular expression print, grep, or sometimes it's written as regular expression parser. Normal some books you will find it global regression print. Text manipulations commands are your cut, similarly translate, find and replace. Or command is there and stream editor is also there. So grep family is contained of other things like egrep and file. For example, if you want to send on the command or on the command prompt for the text you're sending, that is called egrep. And if you want to send a file, then you go for the file grep. Fine. So you will check out few options for the grep. Now these are the few options for the grep. For example, if you are using F, it will take a file to read the patterns from. If you're taking a E option, that means a specific pattern to be searched. So you're mentioning the pattern. If you're sending a file, then you have to read the patterns from the file. If you're using any string or any command or any part of a pattern to be searched, then you use the E command. I, for ignore your both patterns, that is your case sensitive or your case sensitive. Similarly, V is to your invert matches. Invert the matches means what you search, print all the characters not matching the character. That means you're not looking for that lines which is matching your pattern, but give the reverse answer. For example, if I want all odd numbers, fine. I don't want to print all the odd numbers. I want to search for all the even numbers. So I want the screen should print the even numbers, but the logic or the pattern search for all the odd numbers. So inverted pattern, it will search for something and give the output, the remaining sections, or inverted output. Similarly, W, if you want to search for a whole word, exactly one word. Similarly, search for a whole line for L. Similarly, instead of printing matches, print the number of matches from the count. How many words are there according to the pattern? So count the number of words. Similarly, print name of each file which does not contain the pattern, which contain the pattern that gives a small line. That will give you a line full of content that contains the pattern, and this capital L will print the file which does not contain the patterns. Fine. Similarly, to print the name of each file containing a match, then it should be having a small l. So small l to print each file that contains the pattern, capital L to print each file that does not contain the pattern, C for number of words you have, Similarly, a number of words, it will give you only the words, duplicate words, that these are the duplicates. How much count the word is, then you go for C command. If you want your output to be inverted, for example, you don't want not matching pattern, then you go for V command. I for your ignorance, the pattern for a case sensitive pattern, file, and enabling multiple patterns, enabling your text strings, then you go for E command. Same here, the grep command, the command is written like this one, the options, the string patterns, and your files. So options, your file name from the pattern to be searched, and this is a pattern, fine. So ignore the case, inverted match, count, twice same case, print only names, files matches. Those who have the pattern will print the name of the file. Files without pattern, capital. If you want to go by using without the pattern, go for the line number, then go for hyphen n that contains that patterns, and h with not include the file. It will only search it for the pattern. Fine. So h with no file name and n with the liner included with your pattern search. Fine. So these are the few commands. Like for example, you discuss R with this reverse, or you can say to be search recursively search hello in your this directory. Similarly, number of words to be searched. This word to be searched from this data file. Similarly, count number of errors and from the file from the log dot. This is your file. Search for a error and count. Similarly words, similarly R, similarly L. Those who list of all the files contains the main, and it should have the .c file. This is your files. Fine. It will search for all the files that contains the main. Similarly, VI editors. This is also that's your inverse, and the V and I is for case sensitive. So it will search for all the case sensitive. The pattern is desktop and the searching file is etc services. Similarly, go for inverse and inverted matches. Go the case sensitive also, ignore the case sensitive, and go for your inverted matches from your TCP word. It will search and folder as this one. Similarly, go for inverted. This is your text file and pattern search. So these are your patterns, red color coded words. These are your patterns. These are your destination files from the pattern to be searched, and these are the various word, whether you want to recursive search, whether you go on for the name of the file, whether you go for the inverted match, whether you go for the ignorance of case sensitive. Same here. In this, we have only one thing. Like for example, if you're going for F option, grep-f, that means you are mentioning the file name. Some shell supports grep. Find version or different f grep and e grep. So what is that is when you're searching, when using the f grep, then you can go for hyphen going for f, or you directly go for f grep. So that means you're using the files. So either you go for grep with the or get with your f. You in your E stands for extended or in your multiple expressions. You want 2-3 expressions to go in one search for 2-3 words, go for extended regular expression, or you can go for that is called E expressions or extended regular expression, or you can replace with the E grep. All are, for example, these X options are same. Fine options also there. Match the grep only. So work for every grep match. E and capital regular expressions and capital F for grep. Like Similarly, smaller specified expression as the option, smaller f specially stands and small specify the real take the file name. Your regular expression grep or so these are the smaller. They have one defining and capital one of your line. So E stands for specify the regular expression. You want to specify the expression, you check that one and search one. If you search, then go for file name. So one is your file name, search from the file, or you want to search from a, and one is called, for example, file expression or a search string is there. You have mentioned a search from the expression, then you go for the this one is the expression. Similarly, one more command being asked is your these are few examples of your grep command. Nothing more than asked in this one. So this is about the searching a pattern. Similarly, one more command being asked is your uname. Fine, the username. It will print actually the system information, and these are the all options like hyphen a, print all the information. S stands for name, N node name, kernel stands for node, kernel release stands for kernel name, and that is plus OS plus hardware, your MAC address, and your so it's been asked in your in term will print all of your user defined. You can say user session. Similarly, one more command is your command. Sed is nothing but a stream editor command. It rules on a stream. It actually goes for per line. Rules apply on the stream of data. That's why it's called a sed command, stream editor, and it goes for a per line addition, formatting, or any kind of. No look turning back into a stream going forward only because it's just a working on a stream of data. So there is no backward. You have to work it on the current and a forward direction. Sed is nothing but a stream editor. A stream editor is used to perform a basic text transformation on an input stream, whether it's your file or input from the pipeline, while in some ways similar to an editor which permits scripted editors such as ed or sed works by making only one pass over the input and consequently more efficient. That means it will work on the stream of data and it will form your basic text transformation will do. How will it do? For example, it will read a file or a stream of data, write the output data performing a search and a replacement function. For example, you want to replace something, you can use the sed command, and you want to replace something like you want to search this one, first the search for like this pattern and will replace it by this pattern. So one is your searching, fine, this is your searching S, and go for your these words with this word. G stands for your S stands for your searching. Generally, you want to find the go for options enabling multiple actions. You want multiple search to be done in one go, then go for E option. Same, either go for cat or a word or dog. Fine. Similarly, go for this high or low, replace it with your pets. So that means multiple patterns. For multiple patterns, you are using the option E, extended or enabling multiple expressions. So this is one expression. Search for a word dog or a cat. Search for a high or a low and replace pets. So in this way it works on a, and there is no looking back. There is no reverse case. It is replaced, it is replaced. So you cannot go a control Z to undo that one. It is in the forward direction only, and it will not. Once you replace the word in the file or in the expression, it cannot undo that. So that is done in a one go, and that is committed. It is a script editor for text streams which supports basic regular expressions. It performs transformation on an input stream based on a simple instructions. Sed has many commands, but most commonly used in a substitution commands. Find or replace or substitution. So this is your searching a pattern, then or a pattern or a replacement. Then G stands for your global and the name of the file where you want to be, go for it. So these are the set commands. Say a few options are there with a set. This is your command and this is your file, your scripting file or file. Then N option is to print the lines. When you're using the N, that means you are printing specific lines with the print command. If you're using the P also, there's one option called P also. If you're using P, that P flag for substitution S. For example, one is a S is there. Like here you can get in for a S. I'll show you the example. S is P flag is also there for substitution as the S command. P for the printing, it's all the commands. Similarly, F scripting file, and next argument is a file name containing the editing commands. So this is your file or script file. It can be a script file from which you want the pattern to be searched. E command is nothing but editing command rather than file useful multiple commands. E is for your multiple expressions, F for your file script. Fine, and hash n is nothing, it acts like through n can be specified. So n is nothing but it print the number of lines also and the count of the lines. For example, number of lines, line number 10, line number 11. So and it will print the specific lines. For example, you want to print only top 10 lines, then go for 10. It will search that pattern and replace it between them. I only want few lines, top 20 lines, top 10 lines, then I'll mention the line number. Fine. So this is about the your set. It will work on your find and replacement techniques. I have floated earlier said slides also, and that have a detailed version. This is just a snapshot or just that slides have much more content about the editors with few more examples. Then one thing Meghna asked me about the positional parameters. Positional parameters, I think you have heard it or read it in C. It can be used with other commands to accomplish tasks when creating a shell script. It is actually a set of tools in order to more effectively use these parameters for the maximum benefit while creating your script. Now, what do you mean by positional parameters? Like this one. Command line, when you send a command, for example, command line argument, positional parameters from starting with your dollar, there's prompt 1 or with your to 9. So these are representing your command line arguments. It has every argument has a position number. Fine. If you are mentioning 1, that means first parameter, positioning 2, second parameter, and up to 9 you can go to the by using this dollar sign. Similarly, if you're using dollar hash, it will tell you about the total number of arguments. How many arguments are there? Whether you have used 2, whether you have used 3, whether you have used 4. So it's your total number of arguments. Similarly, $0 is a name of the executed command. For example, I've written a echo command or I write a set command. So that is the positioning of my command. So 0 is my command position, has arguments. Similarly, if I use this asterisk, it complete sets of position and tell me the complete set of positional parameters. Fine. Then it will actually return the values of the positional parameters. Then this will exist status of the last command. This $, is a PID of the current shell, and this is a PID of the last background processor. So these are the all to fetch the values of your positional parameters. Like this example, $1 first parameter, $2 second. If you go for the beyond 9, up to 9, you have to use the dollar. But if you want to go for the with 9 positional parameter, then 10th parameter can be written as this. Fine. It cannot be taken as $110 or you, because $1 is already there. The system won't understand if I go for $10. So it has to be curly braces, then your 10, and that is your 10th parameter. Name of the script or name of the command is at 0 position. Number of arguments go for the hash, and asterisk is for all position parameters. Fine. For example, you have written a command set. Fine, set. These are set command to assign values to your position parameters. So this is a set command to set the value. I've set the value. So there are four positional parameters: $1, $2, $3, and $4. Now if I write echo $asterisk, so it will return me all the four arguments. So asterisk means it will return all my positional parameters. So it will return all my positional parameter values. If I write echo $hash, it will give me the count. How many are there? 4 are there, so it will give me the count. Similarly, if I write echo $1, that will return me the first positional parameter. If I write echo $3 and $4, it will return me third and fourth positional parameter. So these are all positional parameters, are nothing but your command line arguments numbers, their positions on the command line. So the echo has a 0 position. This set has a 0 position. Number of count hash asterisk will give me all the command arguments with the values. Fine. If I go explicitly for a 1 position, it will return me the first parameter. If I go for the third and fourth, similarly up to 9, I can go for the positional parameter, and beyond 10, we have to go for curly braces. Fine. Same here. The command at 0 position, argument 1, 2 up to 9. If you go for the 10th one, then you have to use this syntax, curly braces and 10. Fine. And these include, this will give me the count, hash will give me the count, and this will give me the values of this one. So these are your positional parameters as per the one of the question in your shell scripting. What do you mean by the positional parameters? As Meghna asked, I think now Meghna will able to get this one, and you can able to draft that question, that what do you mean by the positional parameters.
Okay.
Why? Meghna, I think you can able to get it.
Hello.
So this is the one paper I want to discuss, 2014. Fine. I have discussed till 15, 19, 16, 18, till 15 I have discussed. This one, the paper is of 2014 of Linux environment. Fine. So this is the Linux environment, explain the architecture of the Linux. I suppose find different ways managing and managing and switching architecture of Linux, switching the users. That means you have to use the su command here to switch the user. So su command for switching of the user. Similarly, difference between the shell, T shell and K shell. Similarly, Linux and Unix I have discussed. What do you mean by process? Anything which is running when a program runs, that is you call the process, and explain briefly. So these are your 5 marks question about the managing users can be your changing the groups, changing the users, how to manage the users, that is your switch command or your su command for that one. And for managing the user, you have to use add or a user group. So using other commands are also there. Switching is for su, and for managing, that user add, user del, So these are the commands for your managing the user. Then ext234, I've already discussed different run levels, explain the methods to change the run level, that is your same. To change the run level, that is your RC D and RC scriptings is there. You can change run levels also. Linux file system architecture already been discussed with the diagram. What do you mean by archiving? Give two example of archiving command, that is your tar. Fine, I've discussed about the tar zips, and these are your archiving commands. Similarly, redirections operators like the your shift left shift arrows and right shift arrows. These are your redirections. Piping is also used for your redirections inputting one command to another. So that is your redirections, and you can example is piping. Similarly, what do you mean by symbolic link and what do you mean by hard link? Already being discussed and notes being given. Then describe the security. Security at the kernel level already being discussed. Then encryption, your password, your etc folders, your shadow folders, the level of security in your Linux. So discuss about your files like etc folder has a password folder, etc has a shadow folders, and you have the high level of security. Similarly, your root files all having your confidential information, that is your encryption is done for securing your passwords and user information. Already been discussed this one, mounting and unmounting a file. Obviously mnt folder is there for mounting your devices. Your by default root directory is mounted at root, that is your backslash, but for other devices you have to mount. For example, I have to mount the floppy, we have to mount the cd-rom, then we have to do the mount command is there and unmount command is there to attach your floppy drive or your cd drive or any of the hard drives, any of the peripheral devices. You use the word mounting or a command mounting, and to detach you have to use the unmounting. I've discussed about the set grep with example. Similarly, what do you mean by sticky bit? Already been discussed that to you withdraw some permission rights, you have to use the sticky bits. Then the content of the etc password file, already notes have been given that will contain all the information and what kind of that. It will maintain your all data log, how to maintain. And similarly, shadow will contain nothing. Encryption is done in the shadow. Similarly, cut your other, like this is your difference command, cut command, unique to check for the unique word. This is tr, I think replacement, this I think this is tr to replace or translate, to replace any word from one, that is a translate. Difference to cut any file or to check the two file differences, then you use a difference command to check for a unique word and count your words, lines and characters. Then wc. What do you mean by schedules? The processes, that is scheduling algorithm and policies being discussed. FIFO is there, then other things are there like FIFO is there, then your route robbing is there, then your time sharing policies are there. The notes have been put for this one also. The rule of a process descriptor. Every process has a task structure, a data structure that is called as your task structure, and every task structure is maintained by your descriptor. So descriptor is nothing but a process defining data structure that discusses everything about the process, what it contains, when it starts, when it's not modified, how many hard links are there, how many soft links are there, how many files are running, how many data blocks are there. So that describes about the processes. Fine. And for that task descriptor is maintaining each and every entry by using a data structure called a task structure. Now way back to track the processors, that is Linux, that is all about the process state diagram, about running processes, zombie processes, termination, how many are queue, how many are waiting. So you can track down the processes in Linux. Similarly, system calls are Linux, like for example executing, forking, to divide the parent into a child, then is called forking. So one of the forking is there, then waiting is there, then termination is there, then call is there, then termination is there. Then system calls are there, interrupts are there. These are defined signals to be sent. So there are a list of few systems calls already been discussed and given the notes. Fine. So this is a 2020. This is the 2014 paper. Similarly, now this is the paper of your 12, that is a 2012. Same here. I've discussed how to Linux architecture, data structure, Linux in use. I've discussed just one. What do you mean by task structure? Task structure is nothing but a process descriptor. Fine. So this is your process descriptor. That is a task structure. Then difference between a file structure and inode already been discussed. What do you mean by update process? What do you mean by a Lilo? How the scheduling done? History of the Linux. Then you can go for a menu driven. I've discussed yesterday how to use addition, subtraction, multiplication. Number is accepted from the user. A calculator, basic menu driven calculator. Yesterday class we have discussed this shell script. We also discussed the shell script of Fibonacci series. I have also discussed to accept three numbers from the user and find the largest among them. So all these been discussed in the yesterday class. Then same here, I've discussed about the memory management. Fine, how the memory management done. You have to discuss about the kernel architecture here. Talks about your memory management, and that discuss about your this. Similarly, discussed about your other kernel segments, and this is a dynamic memory application already being done. Everything is done in there, and it's already been covered. Dynamic memory application done by this, and this is a system called to break the memory into various segments. So this is the system call. Fine. Then the concept of file substitutions. So file substitution or gobbling is nothing. It can go for your tr command. It can be go for your the sed command. It also go for file substitution with suitable examples. So there are few other examples I will discuss, but basics are your tr and the sed you have used it. cp copy command, grep command, awk command, and chmod, that is your change the modifications rights, read, write, and execute permissions. What do you mean by a process state diagram? Already been discussed. ps and a kill command. Then other options are debugging. Debugging is also done. I've already told you about the kgdb. These are the dubbers, and these are the debuggers. Two debuggers I've already discussed. That is your kdb and kgdb. Inter-process communication, that is your IPCs through messages, through system calls, that is the IPC process already been discussed. Sockets, they are in the slides, that how to communication with the hardware level. Then sockets is used. FIFO first in, and how there I've discussed how to work in on FIFO. There are in unit 2, everything is covered, that how to work in on your FIFO. So how they are created, the process is also there in that one. IPC through messages and shared memory, it is already there in unit 2, to how the messages can be used and how the signals can be generated, and shared memory concept is also there. Semaphores is not in there, but I think my slides cover that one. That what do you mean by semaphore? Semaphores is nothing but to work at your background processes and how do processes communicate, run in parallel synchronization so that deadlock does not occur. That is called a semaphore. Semaphores is nothing but a locking two processes in such a way that deadlock does not occur. For that one, we are using the semaphores processes. It should be proper synchronization should be there. It should not be like this one, that one process is waiting for another file and the file is occupied by another. So it should be done in this one, and all the synchronization, proper synchronization so that deadlock does not occur within the processes, then semaphores has to be used. File systems already done. Virtual file system, how the modules are implemented, same, it is there in the notes how to work it with your modules. ext file system already there. I've also discussed about the super block, data block, and file descriptors and inodes. So your memory or your hard drive actually divides into various blocks, and one of the blocks is super blocks that maintain everything about your file system. So it contains everything about your file system which is you are using, either your root file system or your other files created by the user. So Superblocks is nothing but a root file system. It will contain all the meta information or all the information about your root file system. Then multiprocessing, same here, a multitasking, your Linux is multitasking, multiprocessing, everything is there so you can detail. Client server model, you know that is a client server that have already been discussed in the networking. So these are the few notes. It can be come from any of the sites, but my unit 4 of iLearn, which I have given to you, it has served the model of client server model. So you read it out that model, though networking is not the part of your syllabus, but they have asked a general question of client server model. Similarly, various looping in Linux. I have discussed about do while loop. I have talked about the shell scripts, for loops, do done, if loops. So all the loopings can be done. So all the loopings, and that is with the example, that is your shell scripts. Then we will discuss about the redirecting standard input and output in Linux with the suitable examples, how to redirect and how to redirections, input and output through piping we have discussed, and through concatenation arrows we have discussed. That is the right arrow, that is your greater than sign, less than sign, that is used for your shift, right shift and the left shift. We have discussed the redirection, standard input and output in Linux. So one of good example of redirection is your piping. To take the input, go for output. So these are the two papers of Linux 2012, and our syllabus is also changed from, I think, 2010 paper. This is a 2010 paper. Same. All the commands, sorting, grepping, interrupt, difference between inode and a file structure. What do you mean by a file structure? System call, linear addresses, physical addresses, virtual memory, debugging, short notes on message queues, shared memory, what is the sockets, data structures for the semaphores. These are not being asked in semaphores, but I will check it out, the data structures for the semaphores and few things about the sockets also. File mounting being discussed, different operations, external file systems, there is your daemons already been there in the notes, multiprocessing, kernel initialization, init process of your booting process, scheduling, and the multiprocessing system. Multiprocessing problems are basically nothing but a synchronization. For that one, we are using the semaphores, and multiprocessing means you have to run the multiple processes without any deadlock situations. So synchronization has to be done in a very beautifully manner, and using semaphores, we can avoid many problems in multiprocessing. So multiprocessing is resource sharing, memory locking, then your resource blocking, then your synchronization. So there are many problems with the multiprocessors. Fine. So these are 2012, 2014, and 2015 paper. Yes, class. Anything else? That's all from my side. So